Wow, we are now live on Facebook. Yeah, greetings to all our audience. It's always a pleasure to host you on Sadref Africa platform. This is a place where we believe broken crayons still color. Welcome to Brighter Days segment. This is a monthly talk show that is brought every last Friday of the month, whereby we cover different relevant topics based on authentic stories. Take note that we are live on Sadref Africa Facebook page, so you may choose to host a watch party. You may choose to share this on your Facebook timeline. You may wish to invite someone who might benefit from this conversation. You may also visit our Facebook page, which is Sadref Africa, like and follow, and also visit our website, that is www.sadref.com. You may also subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Sadref Africa. I also want to take this opportunity to invite all of us to be part of this raw and candid conversation. Kindly engage by going to the chat box. You might type your questions, your comments, your thoughts, or concerns. We shall try and react and also respond to them as we continue with this conversation. Now, as we get to today's discussion, I would like to share a small story that I came across. Musician Vivian and her husband Sam West revealed some of the challenges they have had to face as they put together a blended family. Vivian came into the union with a daughter from a previous relationship, and Sam West also started the family with a son from a former relationship. One of the challenges the couple has had to face is making their respective children comfortably refer to Vivian as mom and Sam West as dad. Sam West mentioned that one of the key things with blended families is that you really have to understand who you are, since it's not a normal type of family setup. This is because you're trying to connect with your partner as two individuals, as well as trying to have your respective children to integrate. They also mentioned that they have different approaches to parenting that can clash. At times, it ends up hurting the feelings of the person being told to embrace a proposed parenting approach. My name is Jenny Washira, and I am your host today. We are on episode 6, and the topic of discussion today is blended family talk. What are the rules of engagement? We know blended families are rarely spoken about, while step families are on the rise and have become quite common over the past decade. This is due to high divorce rates, premarital birth, and also loss of a spouse through death. To help analyze and explore this topic today, I'm joined by two amazing power-packed panelists who have inspiring and informative experience in their life's journey. I will invite them in a few to introduce themselves before we get deep down into our discussion for the day. I would like to start with Jackie. Jackie, kindly welcome. Introduce yourself. Let's get to know you better, and at least brief of where, how far you have come from. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Jenny. My name is Jackie Care. I'm a psychologist. I am a counselor, and I am also a life coach. So one of the things that I do is to support my clients to get a fresh start in life. However, because of my experience in the family that I got into, in a blended family for the last almost 20 years to date, I formed an organization that is called the Blended Family Network, where the purpose is to help people getting into step families to build emotionally healthy and balanced step family unit for all the members that are involved in that family. And this was because my journey was lonely. People don't talk about step families, and the resources for people living in step families are so scarce. And I felt we needed that resource. I formed an organization that I needed to support me in my journey. And if I needed it, I knew there are so many other people who are in this type of families that also would benefit from this organization. So I am also a blended family coach.
Good to hear that, Jackie. Yeah, now another amazing lady, Aggie. Kindly come on board and let's get to know more about you.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jackie. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Aggie Ahuma. I call it my brand name. I am a mother. I'm a mother of 4 children, and I am a stepmother of 5 children. So together, we have 9 children in total. So I am a blended mom, as the hip word is to call us. I got into blended family because my first marriage did not work, and I left that marriage with 2 children. And then we since have had another 2 together with my husband. So that's how I am a mother of 4 and a combined mother of 9. Sounds overwhelming. We'll get into it, how I'm managing. Thanks, Jenny.
Wow, yeah, it's already sounding overwhelming. 9 children. Yes. You'll share with us how that goes as we continue with this conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's good to get to know you, and also Jackie, and also just knowing what inspired you, Jackie, getting to start the Blended Family Network. And also, as you have mentioned, you are also one of the stepmoms, you know? Yeah, I know they are so, yes. Yeah, I know the topic blended family. Sometimes when you think of blended family, you know, some of us, it gets to, we just think of that juice that when you ask from a restaurant, you know, it's mixed, you don't know which one is which one, you know, it's quite blended, yeah? So when you hear of that, it's like you think of blended family as such a thing. So maybe you can let us understand what exactly is a blended family.
Is that to me?
Yes.
Okay. A blended family is basically a step family. And I think it's because of the stigma that was around the word step. You know, when you just say, I'm a step, whatever you add to it, I'm a step mom, I'm from a step family, I'm a step child, anything you add after the step is stigmatized. So blended families are step families. And I think blended is a word that was used to make it palatable. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of stigma. So a blended family or a step family is a family where one or both of the adults in the relationship come with children from previous relationships. So it is a family where there's a step parent and a stepchild. You can either be both step parents or one of you is a step parent and the other one is not. So basically that is what a blended family means.
Okay, so maybe to have a clarification over the same, sometimes we tend to think if you are not a custodian of the children, or rather the stepchildren, you tend to think that you are not in a blended family. Can you confirm that even such a setup, maybe the children are with the other parent, I don't stay with them, am I still in a blended family?
Yes, you're still somebody's step parent.
Mm-hmm.
You are still a step parent, whether they're staying with you or not. You are in a blended family. And one day, when they grow up, they might still want to have this important, significant relationship with their other parent. So just because you don't see them does not mean that they don't exist. They actually do. But there's one thing that you've said that I would want to expound on. There are some psychologists, and I think I agree with them, that feel like the word blended is a lie. And at times it is a lie, because anything that is blended is instant. It doesn't take long to blend anything. So there are people, when we talk about blended families, they think that I have gotten an instant family. You know, I have become an instant mom, an instant dad. There's no instant parent, and it's not an instant thing. A blended family takes process and takes a long time for them to start functioning as a whole. In fact, research shows that it might take between 4 to 7 years for you guys to start functioning as a whole unit. So let's not be also taken up or confused by the word blended, or let's not take it so literally.
Okay. I think that's clear. Now, I know both Jackie and Aggie, you have an experience, and maybe you have learned the hard way through mistakes. And you are in a position even to advise many of the people who are either in that position or planning to get into one. So what would you tell us that are things to consider before getting into a blended family setup? And this is putting into consideration that there are some people who did not choose to be in step families. You know, maybe it just happened, they got themselves there, they did not choose that direction. So kindly, you may help us understand the things to consider as we prepare to getting into this type of setup.
Okay. I can go first with that one. So for me, the key considerations were knowing that I am coming into this relationship with children. So I'm not coming in as a person, as Aggie only. I am coming as Aggie and her children. So I had to consider, one, my partner's attitude towards my children. I'm a package. I cannot be considered. He cannot say he loves me and doesn't show love to the children I have, all right? And vice versa. When he was considering me as a potential wife, he had to consider my attitude towards his already existing children. I cannot claim to love him and not care about his children. So that was a big consideration for both of us as partners. For the kids, we had to consider their gelling. You know, how will they get along? Okay, as it is, and I'll use this word very loosely, normal siblings have a lot of fights already as it is. Now imagine step siblings. Yeah. So that's also a very key consideration, knowing that you're adding a layer to an already existent challenge, difficulty. So that's something we also had to look at and consider. And later we can get into this children part of how do you navigate it, because it's a whole topic. It needs talking about. Yeah. So for me, those are my two key considerations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe to get more insights from your sharing, Aggie.
Yeah.
You understand this time, maybe when you fall in love with someone, sometimes when now the love is hot.
Yes.
And you don't really get to ask so many questions. And then maybe after now you are deep inside and you get to realize this person, he got kids.
Yeah.
So from that point, maybe you can advise us. Okay, at what point should you inform the other person that you have kids?
Okay, for me, Jenny, that is important at the very beginning when I start to realize that this is more than just hot love, because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of, for lack of a better English word, wapitanjia. Understand? The people who are passers-by, they're there for a while to serve their purpose. And once they serve their purpose, they're gone. Now you can't keep bringing your children and their children into your relationships. You're not dating as a family. You understand? My children are not dating the men who are trying to woo me. It's me who is dating them. But once I realized that now this one is not Pitangia, this one, it's serious. This one, we are going places. It's at that point that now I started considering, how will my children be in this equation? And that question needs to be asked both ways, Jenny. There are a lot of people out here who masquerade as single and childless. You understand? So you better be clear when you're putting your cards on the table that the other party is also putting their cards equally on the table. And you get to know how many children they have, because anything that is said afterwards, once you're deep inside, as you rightly say, that's a betrayal. That's a betrayal, and that's a very different discussion. So cards on the table from the very beginning. I am Aggie and I have 2 kids, okay? So if that's not good for you, then Mpitanjia, pass. There's a queue on a light note.
Wow. Well, that's a good one.
I actually totally, can I just add on that?
Yes.
I totally agree with Aggie. And I think as we give these programs to churches or talk to people, especially what you're doing for people who have gone through divorce, there are significant things that need to be told during the initial time of that relationship, that this cannot be a secret.
Yes.
And one of the things that are so significant that need to be told within the first few months or even a month is children, your health, status, find some things are so basic that they need to be the conversation during the initial meeting and knowing each other.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some things like that, the more you take time and you're scared to talk about them, the harder they become.
it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the harder they become when you talk about them, it looks like you are conspiring, you are a liar.
Yes.
So things like kids are some of the things that should come out mbele kabisa, because kids will not go anywhere. And then I'm thinking, of course, like I was telling you before the meeting, today I'm like this because I'm talking to adults. I am thinking especially if most of the people who are watching this are people who've gone through divorce, or we are adults, we are at a certain age. I mean, for now, we know that love does not answer everything. So you cannot even say that love was hot.
Ah, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. At some ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, confession time, yeah?
Yeah. My daughter today, I know she's upstairs, she might be hearing, my daughter, my firstborn daughter, is 23. Her heart can go hot.
Yeah.
She is allowed. But when I get to 40-something, or I have gone through marriage, I have gone through heartbreak, what are the lessons that I got? I need to be equipped with lessons and not just say, love ilifika pahali ikakuwa hot, so I didn't ask the necessary questions. No. Then it means you didn't learn. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Maybe, Jackie,
Yes.
if I may throw this one to you, what would you say to these kind of people? And I know you have heard of them that hide kids back in the village so that they can be accepted by their partners. And also, we have a scenario some time back. I remember I saw it on news that somebody actually killed their kid, their kid, yeah, so that they can be accepted in that marriage. What would you say with such kind of people?
You know, one of the people who is the godfathers of psychology is Abraham Maslow. And he came up with the basic needs of a human being. And one of the basic needs of a human being is acceptance. Acceptance. And because acceptance is a human need, at times we miss out on that meaning of acceptance. So we look for acceptance from outsiders or from relationships, especially stigma that you're divorced or you are a single parent, so you just want to set rules so that his stigma issue, you know? So you look for acceptance and you can sacrifice anything for that acceptance, which is very unfortunate because the secret to acceptance is you accept yourself. That is the secret. Not other people to give you acceptance, because that means you're walking like a beggar with an empty cup. Fill your cup. If you can fill your cup and accept yourself, then you will choose the right relationships. But if you can sell yourself short, you don't own your truth for a relationship, and you expect that that relationship will be so fulfilling, then I think that's a lie. There's no way a relationship where it demanded you to sell yourself short with a significant person in your life, your child, I don't think you will ever feel fulfilled in such a relationship. Secondly, the trauma, because now the person who is facing rejection here is your child. Remember, we said acceptance is the basic need. Now you're looking for acceptance and rejecting another human being. You don't even imagine the wound that you're giving this child. There are so many adults today who are dealing with rejection. And they felt this rejection from their own parents. So many of us, even those who are raised by grandmas. Our grandmas should be our grandmas. And then my mom should be my mom. My grandma will not feel my mommy whole. Never. So one of the things that you are doing also, you're planting a seed of rejection on your child. When your child grows older, one of the things that he or she will be looking for is acceptance. And he will look for it, or she will look for it at any cost, just like you've done. It becomes a cycle.
Wow, so sad. What I got there, that you are looking for acceptance while rejecting another human being, which will affect their life as they grow up, you know? Yeah, thank you for that comment.
And you're looking for acceptance while rejecting you. Sorry. You're looking for acceptance while rejecting you.
While rejecting you, imagine. That's a tough one. So sad.
Yeah,
so
you
sad.
reject yourself.
I think we need to learn, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Jackie. And I can see our audience sending their comments, they're sending their questions. Kindly keep them coming. We shall react and respond to them as we continue. We agreed you are also part of this conversation, so kindly don't go back with any question or comment that you need to bring across. Yeah, now I've been thinking of this thing about the complexities and dynamics of a blended family. Like Aggie, as you mentioned, of the 9 children. So I'm trying to think, here you have your own kids, the kids that you came with.
Yeah.
They are his kids that he came with.
Yeah.
They are your kids that now you've gotten together.
Yeah.
On top of that, there are relatives, extended relatives to deal with.
Yeah.
You have exes to deal with. You have partners of the exes that at some point they might come into this mix. So how do you explain that complexity and dynamics of this type of setup? Is it ever a joy?
Jenny, it is, as you can see, like Jackie has made it a full-time job. Maybe we all should, because it's complex. It really is complex.
Yeah.
We call it his, hers, and ours. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He has his kids and his complexities and his dynamics. I have mine, my complexities, my dynamics, and we have ours. Okay. And all these come in under one roof, under one family. Okay. You can imagine the number of centers of power. That's what I call it. There are so many centers of power. That's the first complexity that I think everyone who is getting into a blended family needs to be aware of. It's not just you as the mother who will say something and it goes, or you expect that he is the father, he has said it will go. You understand? There are many centers of power. As I speak as a mother, he will speak as a father. He will speak as a stepfather. That for those who it affects, there'll be a biological father somewhere speaking as the biological father. There's a biological mother somewhere expecting to speak, to be given her space, which she rightfully deserves and has in this situation, you know. Now, we won't even get into other relatives, Jenny, because just these ones, the immediate ones, is enough. You can't even start counting other, you don't have the luxury of considering any other relative, any other layer. Unlike other normal families, we don't have that luxury, you know. Ours are enough. Ours are enough. So it's to consider what every center of power there represents, what their contribution is, what their contribution is valued at, and put that into consideration in the decision. Of course, some are easy. What do we eat for dinner? Where do we go tomorrow, Sunday after lunch, after church? Where do we have lunch? Those are easy. You can make them on the fly as the present parent. There are more difficult ones, you know. We want to take the kids to boarding school, okay? You're the stepmother. Are you doing this to remove your stepkids from the home so that there is space for your kids? You understand? And yet, even yours, when they get to that age, you will choose to take them to boarding school, but it won't be seen in the same way. So with every decision, my friend, remember, you're not the only center of power. How you navigate it is to discuss with your partner. Let your partner know why you're thinking what you're thinking, so that when he's talking to his side and his dynamics and his, stakeholders, I like to call them, he explains where you're coming from with the thought and the decision. So let your partner know. You also let your stakeholders know why you and your partner have decided 1, 2, 3, 4. I will speak from my experience. Fortunately, I don't have other stakeholders, you know. My children are fully parented by their stepdad, and that's the only father they know. So I am fortunate that at least I don't have that extra dynamic. But it is a reality in step families that there is a stepfather and a bio father. There's a stepmother and a bio mother. So there are 4 adults. The other day in a very dynamic group we belong to with Jackie for this blended families, we were discussing children graduation. And it was about a stepchild who has graduated, and you're the one who's been in their life all through, okay? And they become adults and they've asked that their bio mom attend the graduation. So the question was, where will you stand as the stepmother? Where will you stand? And think of this as graduation, wedding, all these big events in your stepchildren's lives. It's complex, it's dynamic. But what helps is what Jackie has just touched on. Acceptance. Accept yourself. Be confident in yourself and your place in those children's lives and in your own life. Okay? So that even if the bio mother is the one who stands to give the graduation speech first, it's okay. It's okay. You know your place in that child's life. If it's the bio mom she chooses to walk her down the aisle and you're the one who has toiled with her for 18 years or 25, it's okay. It's okay. Self-acceptance. Know your place in your child's life. Accept it. Make peace with it. You'll have a very peaceful, I'll choose the word carefully, peaceful life in your journey as a stepmother. Yeah. Jackie, wow. I depend on your wisdom a lot, so please add what I may have.
Even I was to tell to ask Jackie whether it has been easier for her, and if she has received maybe clients who come to her with such kind of complications, and what is the advice that you have given them?
Okay, for me, I think there's one, when we started, you asked the question of what are the things that we should consider when you're getting into a blended family. One of the things that you need to consider when you're getting into a blended family is partnership, teamwork. Strong families are created around strong marriages. Strong families are not created around good children. If they were, let me put a disclaimer and apologize that the next sentence will not sound nice, especially because of the forum.
Yeah.
We forgive you in advance.
Yeah, forgive me in advance. Forgive me in advance. If strong families were created around children, then guys with children should not be divorced. Yeah, just because I have a kid, I should have a strong marriage. Strong families are created around strong marriages. This is across board, no matter what the marriage is. Now, like we are saying, partnership is very important in any kind of family. However, it is more important in a step family because it needs to be a good partnership, a strong partnership that can sustain the complexity of step family living. If that backbone is rocky, or that backbone is the foundation, it's the foundation where all the other dynamics of step family come on top of the marriage. If that foundation is rocky, then the chance to survive becomes so slim. So one of the things that we need to put in place is partnership, teamwork. Can we work together? And working together does not mean that we don't agree, that we even know what to do when we disagree. We can still find a solution. The second thing that I think also Aggie has mentioned, and I think maybe I just need to mention, when she talks about acceptance, the truth is your family is different. Accept that my family is different. Stop forcing it so that when you go outside there, I look like. You know, if it was the same as that, you wouldn't even need the word look like in that sentence. Anytime you say, you know, we don't even look like, it means the truth is you're not. So your family is different. Structure defines function. Engineer hiyo unajua, si ndio?
You are muted, Maggie.
Sorry, yes.
Yes.
There you're speaking my language. You're speaking my language.
Engineer hapo unajua. Structure defines function.
Yeah.
When we are served soup and you're given a fork, you will not eat the soup.
Correct.
So because the structure of my family is different, our functioning might be different. My role as a mom in my family could be totally different, but it's because of the structures in my home. I cannot say my role has to be like what my mother was, and my mother was in the socially acceptable nuclear family. Because remember, a step family is a nuclear family. It's not a polygamous family. So structure defines function. Understand the structure of your family. Different step families may have different structures. But if we look at our structures and how they are, and we get the functions that work for our family, not saying, oh, pia Agi ako ni stepmom, mi pia ni stepmom, ile kitu Agi anafanya lazima mi pia nifanye. No. What is the structure? What are the dynamics? Some stepmothers are full-time stepmothers. Full-time. Some are not. They only see their kids after 2 weeks, shared custody. Some only see their stepkids after holiday. So the functioning of these families, the things they need for their families to function well are totally different. So understand the structure and the dynamics of your family. What does your family need to function well? Then give it that. Don't copy paste any other thing.
Wow, hey, that's wisdom galore, I tell you. Yeah, it's good to understand the structure of your family setup, which determines the functionality. So it cannot be the same as the other person. And also, I love something that you said about having strong partnership. And that in terms of teamwork will also help you be able to manage the kind of dynamics that comes in the family. There's also one thing that Agi mentioned that I love about self-acceptance, and you be confident of your place, you know, in those children's lives. No competition. I think that's very key as well. Yeah, well, it's becoming hot in here. Maybe I will read some of the comments as we continue. Okay. Yes, I want to acknowledge Olivia Muhadia. I can see you. Karibu sana. Achieng Ndalego. Karibu sana. Harriet, welcome. I can see you. Nancy Rebecca, she says she's loving the show. We have James Olenjoka. This is a beautiful topic. Thanks, Jackie and Agi. And also we have Achieng, we saying, Jackie, Agi, and Agi are looking lovely, enjoying the conversation. Nora, thank you. We've seen your comment. That's very true about hot love. Yes, when we discussed about hot love. Now there's something, a comment from James Solenjoka. Karibu sana, James. He's saying, what I'm getting is that fitting in a blended family is not a walk in the park. You need to find your space in the family organogram to function and feel accepted. At what stage are you in finding your ultimate space? I think is a question he's asking. At what stage are you in finding your ultimate space?
Okay.
Jackie, you want to go?
Jackie? Yes. Okay. Okay. So I'll let you go.
Wow. So every day is a new experience. I wouldn't say there's a formula. I wouldn't say you wake up and say, I've got it figured out. For me, what I find works is that the various levels of relationships, are they working for us in the current setup, in the current circumstance? Is it working for us? Okay. And that us means for me as the mother, for their father, and for them as the children. And the children is all of them. And remember, the children are in various levels also in all this. There are, for example, the younger ones, like in my situation, the younger ones who know it no other way. So for them, you know, it's almost like every day is, it's what they know. They came into this, it's what they know. But the older ones know different and know that this is new. So it's to pulse check. You pulse check, you have conversations. You look for opportunities to have conversations. You check in. And you don't check in like a family meeting and call them all together and ask, are you guys okay? You'll never get an answer. You have your individual relationships. I'll tell you with the kids, I have very different relationships with each one of them, okay? And how I get to know where we are at is in our individual run-ins, in our individual interactions. When, for example, my elder stepsons are taking me somewhere, running an errand for me, dropping me somewhere, it's a chance for me to talk to them one-on-one on, yeah, where are they at, how are they feeling about things. when I'm with a stepdaughter of mine and not all the rest. It's an opportunity to have a conversation with that one. You will not have the same relationship with all of them. I won't sit here and lie to you that we are honky-dory with all of them. No, there are those who we talk when there's a reason to talk. They come to our house when there's something that's bringing them there. Then there are those who I see every day, 4 times a day. And if they don't come, they text me and say, oh, sorry, today we didn't come because 1, 2, 3. You understand? So it's different for all. And as I said, accept and be okay. So for me, when I got to that point of acceptance, of realizing I can't be everything to all of them at the same time, I was at peace, and I was also relieved, because it's a heavy, heavy load to try and carry. That's how I check where we are.
Yeah, maybe Jackie, you can go as well.
I have authored a book called A Delicate Balance. And just that sentence sums up, and it's about step parenting and step families. That life in a step family, in a blended family, is a delicate balance. And for me, when I say that, I am not complaining. I am not complaining because when you're in a step family, you become more intentional because you know it is a delicate balance. When you're in the other families, we take most of the things for granted. We cannot afford to take things for granted. What Agi is saying, that should happen in even the bio, both bio parents and our bio children. That is what should happen. That's today, the relationship you will have with your kids, because your kids will be different. Their personalities, what they like, your kids are going to be different. So even for you, even with my bio, I have bio kids. The way I relate to them is totally different personalities. But you see, because there's a stepchild here, I become more intentional to appreciate the difference or to create that relationship. So it's not that fitting in or finding your place in a blended family is difficult. It is not. Like any relationship, you know, a house is built brick by brick. Like any relationship, spending time together, like Agnes is saying, you know, relationships, love is a verb. The only good thing is that love is a doing one.
I think Jackie has frozen, or is my end?
Yeah, I've also lost Jackie. I thought it was me.
Okay.
I think
Okay, as maybe as she comes back,
yeah,
I can also read some of the comments as we wait for her to connect back.
yeah.
Yeah, and we have Acheng Mumbi. Thank you, Acheng, who is saying, I agree the issue of the children should come immediately after you say who you are. Yes, and also Nancy Rebecca, she's saying it's complex. I once shut TV so that homework should be done. Oh my, it was misunderstood. I don't want her to watch TV. So I think those are the kind of dynamics that we are talking about.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Jackie Polesana, can you hear us now? Or not yet? When you're able to hear us, you let us know.
Yeah.
And once again, Nancy is just a comment she's giving from the discussion that we've had. Yeah, try and accept yourself first. Naomi, thank you. We can see you. Self-acceptance is key. Very powerful point. Yeah, they are commenting on what we've been discussing. We have Njeri Kuna. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the very insightful discussion. Blended families are not for the faint-hearted. Aggie, you'll agree with me?
Oh, yes, I agree.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
It's not. It's not. Sometimes I say it's almost the hardest thing I've ever brought myself to do, because no one brought me nilijileta. It's the hardest thing I've ever brought myself into, but it's also among the most rewarding. Wow. So has both its sides. You reap what you sow. The difference in some blended families, I'll add a disclaimer. The key thing you get in with is tenda wema nenda zako. I don't know if we have an English equivalent for that statement, but yeah, you do good and go. Don't expect a reward or gratitude or appreciation. Tenda wema nenda zako. In blended family, if that is not your rallying call, you will bleed. You will bleed yourself to death. The day I learned that I'm not doing this to be thanked, to be rewarded, to be appreciated, even to be recognized, is the day I started having peace within myself. So I do it. Whether they'll see that I've done a good thing for them or not is up to them. But I will do my part. I will do good by them, and I will go my way. You know, if I'll be rewarded, maybe it's in heaven, and I'm good with that. I'm good with that. You'll get a lot of naysayers. The person who is saying about the TV, it can be something small like that, but I tell you, you will hear it even in your home. In your home, your mother talking about it. That's when you'll know, as a stepmother, you walk on very, very, very thin ice. Yes, thin ice. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's something I love of what you have said about just doing what you are able to do good, and don't expect, asante or what, or to be rewarded, because I think that has a very big reward in heaven, since you are just doing it from your heart and not expecting any reward. Because as human beings, sometimes when you do well or you do bad, all they'll get to talk about it. So you just do what you are at peace with in your heart, and then you'll be rewarded according to your doing.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, Naomi, she says, wow, it's very enlightening. And also we have Wangare. Thank you so much. This discussion is quite wealthy. Wow. And then
You left us, Jackie.
Are you back now?
I think no, nikafikiria mumenifukuza.
Pole for the
You can hear me?
internet. We can hear you now.
We can hear you
now. Yes. We can hear you
I've
now.
changed the Wi-Fi.
Okay. Pole for that. Those
Did I get lost kitambo sana? I've been away for how long?
For a few minutes, like 2, 3. But we've just been reading some of the comments just as we waited for you to come back. Yes, because when you were sharing, you told us of your book, Delicate Balance. Maybe towards the end, you'll tell us how we can get the book for those who would want to purchase that kind of book. But there's one comment I would like to read, so that now Jackie and Aggie, you can help us next time when you're having this kind of discussion. You can help us to have these people on board. Robert Karanja, I can hear your concern, and he's saying this is a very powerful discussion. Please try and bring some men who are in blended families so that we can get varied opinions. And I know it was tough even for me, because I really tried to get a man who would come on board, but it was not easy for me. So Jackie and Aggie, I know you can assist next time when you are having such a forum, so that we can get to hear also the men's view. Why are you laughing? Are they available? Maybe you can tell us if they're available, or maybe why they did not like coming.
Let me laugh.
You know, I think that a big percentage of us know 1 or 2 people who are in a blended family, especially today. Yeah?
Yes.
You can hear me? Am I okay?
Yes.
So, if this is a guy who is saying it, this is a comment from a man?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
He must be knowing 1 or 2. He must be knowing 1 or 2. If he can invite them, the better. Because I am a life coach, I'm a therapist. Most of my clients, 90% of my clients are women. And it's not like men don't need it. I think they just don't know how to say and communicate, which I think they need to learn. Yeah. For me, that's what I can say.
What?
Aggie, anything? Do you know any you want to invite?
Yeah.
I know, for example, the person who made me be a blended mom, but the real question is to Robert, do you men talk? Can you come to a forum and talk the way we are talking? That's the challenge is back to you guys. Are you willing to come and yes, come. I mean, by all means. If Jackie and I live with men who are blended fathers.
Who need to be here.
Who need to be here.
Yeah.
Who yes, and they are not. So you help us. You are the one who might know the language amongst yourselves that will convince you to come and tell people how it feels.
Well, yes, we have had that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's right. But he's right. We need to have more men speaking here.
Yes, yes, so that we can also have the other perspective. Or Robert has volunteered. He has said, I can join this conversation in a matter of minutes. I have no problem speaking and talking.
Good. Thanks, Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Robert, for that. Yeah.
Plan for part 2 and he'll be part of it.
He's willing to jump in, you know. So
oh yes.
Yeah. Now let me throw this one to you, Jackie, and I know Aggie, you'll also comment on this about the children, how to prepare and unite the children of a blended family, and more so before even you get to making this decision. We tend to ignore the fact that the children also, they matter in decision making as far as this is concerned. Sometimes maybe the people they knew before who visited as auntie, uncle, the following day they found them in their houses, maybe in the mom's bedroom, and then they're meant to be called mom and dad. You know, there's no explanation how that one happened. So how can you assist, you know, as far as this is concerned? How do we bring in the children to, as we get into this kind of transition?
I think for me, when you know that the relationship is on a serious, significant relationship, then you need to prepare your child for this outcome that is going to come when you guys are planning to live together. Unakumbuka Agi alisema kuna wapita njia. So we are not talking you prepare your children for wapita njia and then you come back and say, oh, really uncle squeezy, we wachana na yeye, I'll bring another one.
Alipita.
Ule auntie hapana wachana na yeye, hata alikuwa hajui kupika. We can get another one. No. So you have to ensure that this is a relationship that is significant, it is safe. I mean, all your values that you've been looking for are there. So it is a significant relationship, so you can bring your child in. So you have to prepare your child even before they meet this person and tell them there's this significant friend of mine I would want you to meet, so that they can meet at a neutral place without expectations. Yeah. You don't sit there hawk-eyed and wondering, oh my God, if they didn't even connect, am I going to lose this relationship? They might not connect on the first day. So have a safe environment, and the safe environment means that even today as a single parent, you should be creating a safe environment for your child to speak. Yeah. A safe environment when they can talk about their concern, their worries, their fears. Yeah. So have a safe environment for the children so that they can speak about their concerns. They may not be the ones to say yes or no, marry him or marry her, don't marry her. I don't think they're emotionally mature enough to choose husband and wife. You know, just the way we cannot even let them drive at a certain age. So there are things that they're not emotionally mature for. So we are hoping that for you as the parent, you're emotionally mature to have picked the right person, both for you and for the child. So I think for me, it is creating a safe environment for the child to talk about it, to talk about their fears, their concerns, to reassure them that your relationship is not going to change, they're not going to be replaced, you know, and to let this other person in your life build this connection with time. as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Agi, I think maybe you can add something.
Yes, I agree. And only thing I can add is you have to continue talking even after. You talk before, you talk during, and you talk after. You have to keep talking to your children about this person you introduced to their lives. All right, it's very important. It's very important. You may be comfortable because you share a bond, a love, a connection, but you have introduced your children to someone, they don't necessarily share that like you do. So you have to walk the journey with them until the point they're comfortable to run their own relationships. You must continue that conversation. Yeah, don't assume that they're quiet, they're okay, or now we are married, they know it's okay. No, keep talking. And I like what you said, Jenny, very important. They can't wake up and find someone in mommy's bed, okay? And that's how they know, we now have a new man in our lives. You understand? It can't be introduced in that way. You have to be responsible about it. It can't be a surprise. It can't be irresponsible. I call it recklessness, actually. It cannot be reckless. You're not dating with your children. It's you who's dating. Yeah, your children deserve order and respect and dignity in this decision you're taking. Yeah, that's all I would add to what Jackie has very well put.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. While we are on the children issue, there's a comment by Alice Clare that she's saying, if your own children can be difficult, how about stepchildren? So she's saying, but be human, do well according to your conscience, ingine wachia Mungu. Sensitivity is crucial in such a situation. So while we are on it, and just in relation to what Alice has said, I know you'll find maybe difficulties in maybe raising the stepchildren on top of even your own children that you have. Now, depending on maybe their age, their personalities, their background, and also this thing, the attitude of maybe they are not mine, like now the issue wakikuwa wagumu say they are not mine, so you handle them in that an attitude. I don't know how to handle that. And then with the different ages, maybe Agi, you can remind us, maybe if you came in when they were how old, so that we see how easy it was for you just to transit to that level.
All right. Yeah, so when I came with my two, the elder one of the two was about three and a half, and the younger one was just over one and a half. So they were young, they were babies, and those were my two. His set of 5, the youngest of them was 15, going 16. Okay. So you see that gap already, 15 and almost 3, 4. The eldest of the older group at that point was 22, around 22. So she was a grown girl. So they're the 5 between 22 and 15. And I was coming with my 3.5, 1.5-year-old. So first, you're right to say, parenting them was very difficult. I had no experience parenting young adults and teenagers, and I had zero experience, and to be honest, zero preparation. I was thrown into the deep end, and I didn't have the luxury to say, "Sio wangu, I don't care," because I had to be a present parent. You understand? I was living with most of them at that time. 4 out of the 5 were under my roof, plus the 2. So you have 6 children to mother from 2. By the grace, we are here to talk this evening with all of you. And we thank God for his endless graces. But as I said, you take it a day at a time. Yeah. When you win today, you celebrate. When you all go to bed that night without all killing each other, when their father comes home and there is order and nobody head is on the table for dinner, you celebrate because it's real, it's chaotic. There are times you just want to pack and go and leave, even yours, uache, even the two you came with, just you're ready. Go. But yeah, you remember that it's a calling. You brought yourself into it, no one forced you. You chose him with all his children, and he chose you with all of yours. So you parent. You parent. Yes. So, and the other thing that helps is a united front. Jackie said it, and I'll repeat it. Honestly, the one thing that has helped me remain sane is having that united front, knowing that there are issues that even if they happen in the absence of their father and he comes, the first person he will listen to is me. He will give a listen to the child, but he will give me my place in that home, and he will listen to me and why it didn't work. And I will say it, and he will give it, you know, the audience it deserves. And I take that position with a lot of dignity and humility, because remember, I'm a stepmother. I can easily play this for my own benefit and know that, you know, I can play their father against them because I have his ear. And they can do the same. In the end, they are his children and will always be. So they can also play him against me. So having a united front helps, because the children know they can't play us against each other. You know, they know in the end, we will listen to each other and we will deal how we both think is right. United front is very important. Wow. So that, yeah, you don't get caught in the middle of, yeah, it's not your head being served for dinner next time. Yeah.
Having a united front, I think that's a powerful statement. Yes. Having a united front. Jackie, there's this thing of stigma. I know you touched a bit of it when we started, but I know especially in Swahili, Mama Wakambo, by that name, it has a very negative perception, you know? So how have you been able to deal with stigma, or rather this just the negative stereotypes of stepmom in the society? For example, I think it was yesterday or the day before, there was news, I don't know whether any of you saw, a 3-year-old baby who was seriously tortured by the stepmom to a point he had all the marks of beatings on his body. And even they mentioned they were forcing him to eat feces, you know. And you can imagine that kind of scenario and the kind of now the negative perspective of it that has gone out there. How do you deal with that, and how can we change the perspective of the stepmother notion? Yes, Jackie?
I think for me, honestly, the truth is that there are step parents who are bad, you know. And I mean, when you choose to be a step parent, you really need to do your job well. Is my internet okay?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you very well.
Okay. So truth is there are step parents who are not good, but so are their bio parents who are not good, who are also toxic. How do I deal with the negative stereotypes? The story changes with me. I don't feel bad about the stigma. I cannot change the entire society, but I can change me. And how do I do that? And how can I change the narrative? Come here, and Jenny asks, can you introduce yourself? My name is Jackie. I am a stepmom of 2, and I call it as it is. The word stepmom is not a bad word. It is the interpretations, the connotations that we have put behind it that are bad. But that word on its own is not bad. So the first acceptance, you remember that acceptance I was talking about even for a boyfriend, even this one, the first acceptance starts with you. Own it. But if you cannot own it, and yet you want to sit down and complain, people are not accepting us, people are not accepting us, and you cannot even accept the word. I mean, why would other people accept you? So it starts with me. And for me, that is why I formed this organization, the Blended Family Network, for people to have this conversation, for people to have a safe space. Despite of stigma, if you're in a blended family, you come and you'll get a safe space. Aggie talks about the group that we are in. It is a safe space for mamas to speak and talk about their issues without being judged, because there's already a lot of judgment out here. So for me, that is how I'm dealing with it, by also offering the safe space for people to talk about step families.
Aggie, have you been called Mama Wakambo, Mama with all those names?
Oh yes, it's a thing. It's as I said, be comfortable in your space. You'll be called Mama Wakambo, my stepmom. Even, let me tell you, it won't even be from outside sometimes, Jenny. Your own children won't know what to call you, your stepchildren, okay? And that's normally such a big deal. They don't know, okay, are you Aggie? No, you're not. So their father calls you Aggie or babe or sweetie, whatever you're called, which they can't call you. Okay. Your bio kids call you mom. Remember, they have a bio mom whom they likely call mom. Okay? So again, confusing. They call Auntie Aggie. You may be, to be very honest, you've come after many aunties before you. Okay? So, and when they go, they become auntie whoever. Okay? So in advance, you're called Auntie Aggie. So, but then you have to be very comfortable with the stereotyping that comes along. Don't worry if you're called Auntie Aggie. Don't worry if you're called by your name, Aggie, Yama. Like me, I think I'm called a mix of all four. I'm called Mom, I hear. I'm called Auntie Aggie. I'm called by my name, not to my face, but I'm called by my name. Sometimes I'm even called by my surname, something only my lecturers in school do, So you have to be ready. Your heart has to be ready for the stereotyping. There are people who will call you their other mom. There are people who will call you their current mom. There are people who will call you, of course, Mama Wakambo. Your in-laws may even call you girl from wherever, because there are many other girls from wherever. So you're the one from this particular part of Kenya. You understand? You have to have a heart of steel. Be confident in your place. Know who you are in their lives, in their family, and don't listen too much to the name that will be coined for you. You have the name you call them, okay? For me, I call them my bonus kids, because that is what they are. God blessed me with 4 biological children, and then he saw me fit to be blessed with even more children. They're my bonus children. That's what I call them. And no matter what happens between me and their father, they are my bonus children. They will always be my bonus children. Be clear on what they mean to you, and let them decide what you mean to them. For anyone else outside of, as I told you, you have already so many problems. You can't add those you don't need to. Anyone else and what they have to say about you, honestly, should not bother you. You have enough inside your house to be bothered with. Be thinned by your own. Yeah, that's what I would say.
And I think I can just add to that, Aggie.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yes, Jackie, yes.
One of the things that you can also do that is in your control, especially as a stepmom who is getting into a family of, like Aggie's kids were very big kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not even have needed you to be a mother. Even you, if you are them, you wouldn't call that woman mother,
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the things you can do is to define. Also, take control and decide what you want them to call you. Please, I'm not saying you say, call me mom. No, other than that. What do you want them to call you? There are some who have decided, call me this nickname that I'm being called, call me this. You can sit down with them and tell them, you don't have to sit down and think, oh, should I call her mom? Should I? No, you can call me ABCD. So you can define what you want to be called. Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful,
Nice.
beautiful, beautiful. Wow, this conversation. Let me read some few comments. Paoti Pao, she's saying, I am new here and loving it. For sure, it's different for all, so don't compare. Thank you so much, Paoti Pao. Then thank you, Bito Kandie, you're following. Thank you, Ruth, this is timely. Karibu sana. And also, I can read one comment. Okay, I think this was you responded to by Ruth. How soon after you've known it's a serious relationship do you introduce the children? Did you mention that? Was it exact time?
I think Jackie covered it, yes.
There's no, yeah, and there's no time. I mean, people like hearing after 6 months, yes, you should do ABC. No. Okay. That this should be in place. For me, it could be 6 months. For you, it could be 8. Another one, it could be 1 year. That this now, I am ready to, you can meet my children.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Nancy is agreeing. I feel you, Agi. I have been there severally. Yes, the agreeing on United Front helps because you feel he supports you. We have a change. We're saying, I can feel you, Agi. Dealing with young adults and teens is very challenging. You need an endless tap of flowing grace. Wow, thank you for this. Yeah, so there's one question that I would want to, I think we have touched on it, but I want to bring it in this way because I think it's a comment or something I saw in social media, whereby, okay, now this was about to deal, how to deal with the ex to your spouse. In this manner, there's co-parenting arrangements and maybe the kids come to your house and then you get, there's this scenario, the other parent is able maybe to take, to give their children a high lifestyle, like maybe take them to international school, Brook House. Well, now this other sister in your house, you are not able to keep up with that. Maybe you've taken them to government institution. Or rather for them, there are those lavish birthdays, so they go for holidays abroad. So when they're coming together, there are all those stories they're sharing of what is happening in their lives. So in such a scenario, and then don't forget their brothers and sisters, you come and you discuss, how would you help the kids to avoid maybe them feeling like they're rejected, or rather just getting to a self-esteem and maybe hate amongst the kids because of such kind of lifestyle? I don't know. Jackie, maybe you can comment on that.
I've been asked that question and every time I always feel like it is a trick question. It is a tough one.
Well, tell us. Eh?
I always feel like, oh my God, that I must, because I feel, oh my God, because it is a difficult, let's just, even if I'll make sense in my explanation, that parent should know that it is a difficult situation. That is a tough situation. Now, the talking that Agi has been saying, that you talk to your child, this, you need to do a talking on another level. Because at the end of the day, as a mother, you still want these two kids to relate because they are both mine. But this one has a dad that can take him to international schools, and then this other one does not have that dad. So I think it is such a a difficult place for the bio parent. And I'm using this a mother as an example. It could be a father. It is such a hard place to be, but you need to be able to reassure your child that he is okay or she is okay. And they're both, and you need also to teach them how to still look at each other as siblings, despite the difference in their lifestyle. So I will not lie, that would be a difficult one. That is a hard ball. I don't know, Agi, if you have some calculations on how this can be balanced.
It's a hard ball, and it's very difficult because it's not in your control. No. It's not in your control. I can't go and tell Biomam, I can't afford what you're giving your children. Please leave it down. You get? The same way, she can't come to me and tell me, my children are not used to your standard of living. So when they come to my place, they struggle. Please, Rudi, level yangu. You understand? It's out of your control. What I agree with Jackie you can do is give your children assurance that in the end, the way I love you is the way she loves them. Or, you understand? Make it clear to your children that this is love, and my love for you doesn't change because of what my money can or cannot buy. You understand? It's not about the money. Because if, for example, as the stepmother, you're the one in that position, other position that you're describing, Jenny. If I, as Agi, I'm the one in a better financial position, and I do all these flashy things for my stepchildren, and their bio mother feels that I'm doing it because I want to show them that I can do what she cannot do. You understand? I also don't want my stepkids to think that I'm doing this to show them what their mother cannot do. No, it's an expression. Or buying their love, correct? Which is a very, very quick conclusion that is drawn by everyone around you. But you are doing it because I will do this for my bio. I will do it for you as my stepchild. You understand? Make it clear to them that you're just expressing love. You're not trying to change the equation between them and their bio parent. Make it clear to your child that because you cannot do some things doesn't mean you don't love them like their step siblings are loved. You understand? Conversation. What I found, and it's not only in blended families, but I think it is more important in blended families. Conversations with your children. Positively affirm your children. Positively remind them that they are the most important thing that has come out of your union. All right? Make sure they always believe and know that no matter where you go with them. Then the money won't matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's where we
Alafu
fanya kazi kwa bidii. That's where we say we go on our knees. There are some things that are really difficult.
Every day, Jenny.
You need to go down on your knees because I agree. That's a very difficult situation.
Very.
Very difficult situation. That's where we need God's grace and we need wisdom, kabisa, you know? Yeah. I know we have maybe we have audience who are following us, and maybe they are in blended families. The other people, maybe they would want to learn more, or rather they are going through challenges. They would want to seek advice. I don't know, Jackie, what you can advise us. I don't know whether we have an organization or we have a counseling unit. I know you have mentioned, so you'll tell us more on that so that we know, or maybe a support group where these people can join just to get support from other people. Yes, or rather a help center, you know, when things are too, they are too difficult and you need to go to a place where they can understand you, where they can go to. So kindly help us. And also there are people, and I know there are some who have been approached before asking, where can we go for premarital counseling for this kind of specific union? So maybe you can advise us on that, so that whoever is watching and they would want that kind of help, they can know where to get it.
Okay, like I mentioned when we started, I run an organization that is called the Blended Family Network. Combined with my years of psychology, life coaching, and counseling, that combined with my years, over 20 years in a blended family, I am a blended family coach. I run 3 programs for blended families: step family preparation, that is like premarital, that I run in the organization. I have stepmom wisdom, that is a program for stepmoms, how to navigate the challenges of being a stepmom. And after you complete the stepmom wisdom, that is why we are here talking about that group of ours. And Aggie, we have a group on WhatsApp. That is where you get into. Now in the group, it is a safe space for you to get continuous support. But you only get into the group after you do the stepmom wisdom, so that you go there equipped, not zero. You will understand what other people are talking about. And if you just have challenges in your blended family, and as a couple or as an individual, you want to get support, you can also come to the organization and we will support you. The number to the organization, can I give it out?
Yes, please.
So it's 0726 460 245. So when you call that number, we can talk and agree what kind of coaching program you want. And I also mentioned that I have a book. It is a quick guide, it's a quick guide called The Delicate Balance, Parenting in a Step Family. It talks about the bio parent, preparing your children, understanding your stepchildren, the ex etiquette, and also the step parent, how to form bonds with your stepchildren. Now, if you want the book is stocked at African Book Hub, but they do deliveries. So if you can just call 0714 117 888 or 0701 925 550. If you call the bookshop, they can also organize for delivery for the book. It's a small, quick guide that has everything that you need to know, especially the basics. It's a basics guide. It's only at 590 shillings from the bookshop. So that's it. There's support for you guys if you need to get into a blended family.
Wow. That's very good to know, so that for those who are looking for such kind of help, they can get. And I'll also share the same number in the group, so that whoever did not get it right, you can also check there. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've shared it in the chat. Okay, it's there. Now, I don't know.
Okay.
We are almost now coming to an end. It has been a very wonderful discussion. I'm sad just to bring it to an end, but I think this one we need to bring it up again now with men in the forum. We have promised you we are going to get them. So, sorry, Aggie, what kind of advice can you give maybe to those planning to get into a blended family or already in such kind of union? Maybe the key points that you'd want to advise them.
Okay. My first one would be, and this is just in addition, please do not lose yourself in the process of getting into this kind of family. Remember all the time, you cannot be everything to everyone. So choose who you need to be present for. Prioritize those people, relationships, and concentrate on that. You cannot be everyone to everything, everything to everyone, sorry. And I touched on that. So if, for example, your children have a relationship with their bio mom, there's a role she plays, accept that and let them continue. Because remember, you're also a bio mom to some children, and no one will play that role for them. So do your part and let the people who need to do their parts around you do theirs. And the other thing I would say a lot is, in this entire journey, don't focus so much on how you feel by your failures. You may be getting into a blended family, like me, because of a failed previous marriage. Don't let that be what, don't let that blind you, okay? Forget how it made you feel. Remember what it taught you. So remember why it failed, not how that failure is making you feel, and do different in this marriage, in this situation, in this relationship. Do different. Take the lesson, not the feeling.
Wow.
My last one.
Yes.
My last one. And I said it in the flyer. Run towards the next, not away from the last. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if your previous partner, there is the biggest reason, for example, was because he was not a church goer. Okay. Don't run away from you get, let your next partner not be because he goes to church, that's it, it's okay, he will work. That one, now you're running away from your last. Run towards your next. Okay, sit and decide what is the next, what kind of relationship do I want next. Okay, and that's what you work for. Don't benchmark it with your past. Me, who you are kunywi, and we tell Jackie all sorts of things in our therapy sessions with her. But Jackie doesn't drink like my ex. He goes to church unlike my ex. Hey, Jackie, he calls me babe. My ex never used to call me that. No. That one, now you're running away from the last. Run towards your next. Run towards your next. That's how I would like to part with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Run towards your next, not away from your last. That's
Correct.
a powerful, powerful statement.
Thank you.
Maybe, is there a place you'd like to tell us, maybe where you're found, where you can be found, maybe on Facebook, Instagram, in case anybody would want to reach out to you?
Yeah, I'm just a normal person. Honestly, I'm just a mother like the rest of you. I'm not a wise woman who does this for a living like Jackie. I'm just a mother. So on Facebook, I'm Agi Ahuma. On YouTube, I'm Agi Ahuma. That's who I am. If you want to reach out to me, yeah, you can private message me on Facebook, and we can take it from there. Thank you, Jenny.
Wow, great.
Thank you.
Jackie, your parting shots as we come to an end of this powerful discussion.
First of all, thank you, Jenny, for this opportunity. And I can't tell you enough. Let me just make a confession, how excited I was that I'm going to be here with Aggie.
I didn't know you know each other. So
always a pleasure, okay. Jackie. Yeah.
I'm home.
We know each other very well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very well. Yes.
So, I was so happy. So thank you, Aggie.
Thank
for
you, Jackie.
who you are, and even just for your time and sharing your mind. You've done so much, and I think even today, I am sure so many people have learned so much from you. So as much as I know you're downplaying it, saying that I'm just normal, you do things, my sister.
Wow. Good to know that.
Wow. Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah.
I'm humbled.
So for me, my parting shot, one, it's true, blended families are complex. It's true, they're challenging. Why? Because the moving pieces in blended families are so many. But that doesn't mean they're not doable, that they're not workable. They are workable. If you have the right skills, the right attitude, the right tools, blended families work. So what does that mean? Please prepare for blended families. Don't think, oh, because he loves me, my kids will love him. Oh, because my kids love him, oh, we will be okay. These things will just flow. Our love is so strong. Oh my God, we will just gel. Prepare for your step family. Invest in it. The percentage, the rate of a blended marriage, in fact, a second marriage breaking, is 60 to 70%. It is higher than the first one because of the dynamics. So prepare for it. Improve your chances. Reduce this percentage, you know? So prepare for your step family, learn more, equip yourself more. The more you learn, the easier it will be to navigate the dynamics for you. And one other thing that I would also want to mention, Jenny, if you allow me, okay. On YouTube, I'm Coach Jackie. I have so many tips on blended families, on step families, and on creating a life that you love. So if those are the tips you would want, go to YouTube and you'll find more than 100 videos that will support you in this journey.
Oh, great, great, great. So you are on YouTube, you are Coach Jackie.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that I can put there for them.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. I really want to appreciate both of you. You have made this conversation healthy, wealthy. I'm sure our audience, we have all benefited from this, and I will surely call for another conversation of this kind. You know, we haven't exhausted because of time. We have to bring it to a close, but I just want to appreciate just for taking time, sharing the insights and your wisdom, and not forgetting also our audience. You've really actively engaged in the chats. You've asked questions, you've commented. Thank you so much even for finding time and just considering being part of this conversation. So I would like to end with a quote by Tom Friendiger. He said, becoming a blended family means mixing, mingling, scrambling, and sometimes muddling our way through delicate family issues, complicated relationships, and individual differences, hurts, and fears. But through it all, we are learning to love like a family. End of quote. Until we meet again next month, I have been your host, Jenny Washira. Thank you and have a blessed night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jenny.
Good night, ladies.
Thank you, Jackie. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.